I'm George Flowers. Here are just some of the stories we're working on for you for Howard 100 News at 12 noon Eastern Time. DJ Madison. She works here at Sirius Satellite Radio on two of the channels, Alt Nation and First Wave, and today she exposed her breasts for Howard Stern on the radio as part of his birthday celebration. We'll have an update on Beetlejuice's manager, Sean Rooney. He's apparently suffered a stroke. He remains hospitalized in New Jersey. And on that birthday celebration for Howard Stern, we'll have the story on that. Nice cake, nice gifts. We'll tell you all about it. Mike Piazza will have a story. Security here at Sirius Satellite Radio has been beefed up ever since Howard Stern arrived. And Penny Crone will have an exclusive interview with show cast member Artie Lang. You won't want to miss them. Those are just some of the stories we're working on for Howard 100 News at 12 noon Eastern Time.
Welcome to the Morning Wrap-Up Show with Gary Dell'Abate and John Hein. A recap of this morning's Howard Stern Show. Got a comment about today's show? Call now at 888-STERN-100, 888-STERN-100. And now, Gary Dell'Abate and John Hein.
Welcome to the Wrap-Up Show. I'm John Hein. With me, of course, is Gary Dell'Abate.
Hello, hello.
The number to call, 888-STERN-100. That's 888-783-7610. And, Gary, let's get right to it. How'd you think today went?
The shows just feel great. I was talking to Howard last night, and he said the last three shows, he's so proud of them. But it just feels natural. You know what? The place already feels like our home. And the show went great today.
It really feels like the show is hitting its groove. I mean, you had lots of great guests today. You had the first, of course, exposure of the Sirius career today, and it just feels very, very natural, and you guys feel very comfortable.
There'll be many more of those to come. I guarantee you. There's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more than showing tits on that studio.
Now, today's Thursday, and on Thursdays, something special actually happens with the wrap-up show. Gary, you should talk about that.
So here's a process. Every Thursday, we do a creative meeting on the show, and everybody in the office is invited to it. So it's all the guys that work on the show, Will and Jason and Ralph and all those guys, and then all the guys from In Demand are invited, and then all the interns get to come. It's a pretty cool thing. Howard comes in, and then we sit around and we kick around guests that we want to have on. If we're doing a contest, we sort of mold that. So that happens on Thursdays. So on Thursdays, I'm not going to be here. We usually would start the meeting right after the show. But since we have no commercials, we're all exhausted.
Right.
So we're taking a 20-minute break, so I'm going to bag out of here after 20 minutes. But taking my place while I'm gone on Thursdays will be Ralph Sorella.
Hey, Ralph.
As I'm sure everybody's very excited to hear.
Yes, Ralph works his way on to yet another show on Howard 100 and 101.
And since it's a creative meeting, and I'm very creative, I won't be missed.
And you should also know, I mean, it's already been talked about on the air, but, you know, sometime in the future, Howard won't be doing Fridays, and there's going to be a show on Fridays. I wouldn't call it best of. We don't know what we're going to call it, but it's going to be
a week in review.
It's going to be like a week in review, and this is pretty much the nucleus of it right here. It'll be myself, John, and Ralph.
Yeah, and on the Weekend Review, not to talk about that too much, but it's not going to be just the best clips. We're going to do a bunch of stuff. Howard even said yesterday, if there's a guest that somebody wants on and Howard doesn't want, and well, that's the time maybe they show up, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
See, I'm even thinking there's going to be some people who are big people who are kind of afraid to do Howard, because, you know, and they might do us instead. You know, we might get somebody big.
Can I use your example that you told me the other day?
Yeah.
So Ralph was hanging out one night with a bunch of people, and one of the guys he was hanging out with was Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey, huge fan of the show, but I've never been able to get Kevin on because I think Kevin feels like he's such a fan. He knows the wacky questions Howard's going to ask him. Maybe we can get him.
Yeah, and he's a great speaker. I mean, you could ask him anything; he's got an opinion on it. He'd be a great talk show guest.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for people who are fans of the show, guests who are fans of the show. Maybe John Stamos is a huge fan of the show, so he might come in and help us do the week in review.
Right.
It's going to be great. We're really looking forward to doing those Fridays. But getting back to what Gary was saying before about the Thursday meeting. Again, because this show is really about what happens behind the scenes during the show. Gary, does everybody have like free input? Like, how does that work really?
I tell the interns on their first day that they are really lucky because I've seen people who've interned on other shows. I've been told that, you know, people who intern, they're not allowed to speak to the host or look at them, and all
don't look at Letterman, avert your eyes in the hallway.
Yeah, and all you get to do is copy crap all day. This show, if you start on this show on Monday, by Thursday, you are in a creative meeting with the host of the show, Howard Stern, all the principals of the show, and you can put your hand up and say, I got an idea. And nothing makes me happier. I've seen a million times where an intern will come up with an idea, and we'll go, you know what, that's pretty good. Go out and do it. And then the next day it's on the air.
But all that being said, and that's great. That's a tough room. You know, you know, I've been there for a long time, and there's some things I got scratched down, and you're like, geez, I don't know, should I say it? And you got to go for it, but you can get.
It's not an all business room. Do you know what I mean? Like we sit down, and I mean, I sort of run the meeting because I have guests that want to come on, but then everybody gets their crack at it. But Ralph is absolutely right. You know, Artie's in there. And Richard and Sal are in there, and if you come up with an idea that they think is stupid, they will beat you down.
It used to be worse when Jackie was in the meeting.
Oh my God, yeah.
Jackie just forget about it.
But. Yeah, but the meetings are cool. Like we had I always use this example when I talk to the interns during orientation. We had an intern who came in one day and said, "I got a great idea. I take the subway every day, and there's a guy on the subway who thinks he's a radio announcer. You know, the announcer on the subway, and he's got a deep voice and everything. So he talked that subway announcer into doing Welcome to 57th Street, home of the Howard Stern Show." And that was a bumper that ran for a while, and I was just sort of psyched, like, hey, he had an idea, boom, and he's in.
You're listening to the wrap-up show. 888-STERN-100 is the number. I'm John Hein with Gary Delabate and Ralph Sorella. Getting back to today's show for a second, one of the highlights for me was the governor calling in, the real governor calling in. Can you go to that, Teddy?
Governor, is there something you want to say at this time?
Well, you know, I also want to say something to you, George, and very important.
Yes.
I want to say to you that even though we've had this discussion, you know, I just want to let you know that and remind you that shit happens, George.
So you should give him the setup. The setup on that is that we pranked George the other day with the fake Arnold calling in, and then we told him today that the real Arnold was calling in, which is believable because Arnold has called our show many times, Governor Schwarzenegger, and we told the guy that we had on the air the other day, Josh Thompson, am I still there?
You're there.
Just say, play it straight. You know, play it straight, no jokes, until we had to, sort of deliver the punchline.
And of course, George went hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, the line that you're missing was, what did George say right after that? He said, oh my, I've been bamboozled. Oh my. Such a good guy.
He's lovable, man. That endeared me to him even more because he's just like a little clueless, but in a fun kind of way.
Let's go to the phones. Brian, you're on the wrap-up show with John, Gary, and Ralph.
Hi, I just want to say that I think having George Takei on there was a fantastic move. I'm going to miss him. I know his voice is going to be there, but it was really great. Can I also say I think I'm one of these gray market guys in Canada that is being ruled by the CRTC, so I had to go down to the States to get my radio. And I listened to Stern, but I can't call in. The toll-free number doesn't work from Canada for the Stern show. It does for your show, not the Stern show.
Don't know the answer to that, but I'll look into it.
So the 9 asshole number doesn't work?
It does not work. It doesn't work from here. Maybe the phone companies don't like having that number dialed into their system. I don't know.
I don't think the phone company knows that the numbers actually spell out the word asshole.
Well, also you can't call.
I don't think they can spell anyway, so that's okay.
What he's saying is he can't call the Stern show, but he can call in on this show.
Obviously, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't. The number doesn't work from Canada.
You know what, Jim? Make a note. We'll look into it. I'll try to give you the answer tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Gary, and it's an honor to speak to you too, guys.
Thanks,
Brian. Let's go to Ken in Rhode Island. Ken, you're on the wrap-up show with John, Gary, and Ralph.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, I just want to say this is a great addition. I love the wrap-up show, and you guys are doing a great job.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, I just wanted to say about the fake Arnold phone call again.
Yeah.
Gary, did you guys think that it would be a great idea to get George to be duped by the fake Arnold one more time?
We did. And I can't promise you that we won't do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to go for the 3 for.
No, we said to ourselves, well, George certainly won't buy into this, but by telling the guy to act perfectly normal, remember, it's a dead-on impersonation. That's what kills you.
How do you think you can dupe him one more time?
I don't know that we could.
I think you might be able to.
I think you might be able to, too, as bamboozled as he was. Thanks a lot for the call. 888-STERN-100, that's the number to call. Let's go to Vince in L.A. Vince, you are on the wrap-up show.
Hello.
Hey, Vince, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Am I in the air?
You're on the air.
Hey, what's happening, Baba Booey?
What's up?
Hey, you guys are doing a great job. I'll make this really quick, man. I'm really enjoying myself this last week. I was calling about the Sulu call also, and I got to be honest, I was a little disappointed that it wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I was kind of fooled.
He was duped, too.
Yeah, I looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, you know what? On the Howard Stern show, we're having a really important call, because I was kind of pissed when Arnold didn't send a gay marriage bill.
Well, what are you going to do? But that's what we do.
Fags need their marriage, too, no?
What's that?
Fags need their marriage, too, no?
Listen, we're all in favor of gay marriage, but listen, we're more in favor of pulling people's legs.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your call. Now, coming up next, we're going to talk to Madison, the first girl to reveal what's under her shirt on the Howard Stern Show here at Sirius. Again, 888-STERN-100. We invite you to join in on the wrap-up show, which you're listening to only on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
You're listening to the Morning Wrap-Up Show. Call 888-STERN-100. 888-STERN-100.
His followers say he's waking up America and making listeners more conscientious.
He was offensive. He was obnoxious. He was disgusting. The largest government fine in the history of broadcasting.
$105,000.
$900,000.
Yesterday, the commission handed out a bunch of tough new rules.
How does one define obscenity? He's offended Jews. He's offended gays.
They're looking at a live picture from Chopper 2.
Unbelievable, Linda. I've never seen anything like it. We'll go 5 for him anywhere he says.
Police are doing everything they can to keep this crowd under control.
We are gonna knock this universe on its ass.
What a nightmare. If you look back here, you can see all the traffic.
Thousands turned out. Spread the word. We're here. In the mall media. We're a force.
Radio will never be the same again.
And this is the future. The revolution has begun.
The revolution is here. Howard 100 and Howard 101.
Listen up, sports fans. Over the past year, you've probably heard that StubHub is the place to buy and sell tickets. So why should you use StubHub? Here's one reason. You're a sports fan. You bought tickets for a game, but you won't be able to make it. So you go to StubHub, sell your seats, and get cash. Here's another reason. You're a sports fan and you want good seats for the game. You go to StubHub, find the tickets you want, and get them delivered to your doorstep within days. See, you can buy and sell sports tickets, concert tickets, and theater tickets on StubHub. And best of all, StubHub also offers a 100% guarantee. So you'll always get the tickets you want in time for the game, concert, or show, guaranteed.
StubHub ticket update.
Follow your team on the road to the championship by getting NFL playoff tickets on StubHub. You can get AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and even Super Bowl tickets on StubHub. Sports fans can also get baseball, basketball, hockey, and NASCAR tickets right now. To order your sports, concert, and theater tickets today, visit StubHub.com or call 866-StubHub. StubHub, where fans buy and sell tickets.
StubHub! You know, you hear a lot of people say, bigger is better.
Bigger is better.
See?
Bigger house.
Bigger car.
Bigger TV.
Bigger paycheck.
Bigger.
Right. Bigger that, too.
That's why there's Prominex.
Yeah, Prominex, formerly known as Cialoplex, the one-a-day pill for natural male enhancement.
Prominex is an all-natural way to increase blood flow where it matters most.
And you don't need to go through the embarrassment of getting a doctor's prescription.
Imagine how good your life would be if things were bigger.
Yeah, forget about the big TV. I want a bigger...
Yeah. Bigger is better.
Call 877-PROMINEX to find out how you can get a free 14-day trial of Prominex. The first 500 callers also get the provocative and hilarious book, Does Size Matter? Prominex is 100% guaranteed or your money back. Call 877-PROMINEX. 877-PRO-MEN, the letter X.
Because bigger is better.
Get a 14-day risk-free trial of Prominex and the free book, Does Size Matter? Call 877-PRO-MEN, the letter X.
Finally, a poker site that's not referring to their .net play-for-free site, ParadisePoker.com, the pioneer of online poker. ParadisePoker.com is the only poker site that gives you the chance to win $1 million for free. Don't believe me? Just ask Santino Gambaluri, a U.S. naval officer who is now a millionaire after winning on ParadisePoker.com this Christmas. Or ask Lee Biddulph, a poker-playing chef who is now $1 million richer thanks to ParadisePoker.com. And neither one of them had to spend a dime to win their millions. So how do you know you can trust these guys? Well, ParadisePoker.com isn't one of your fly-by-night poker sites. They're a $2 billion publicly traded company. They have nearly 3 million customers. And last month, they were featured on 60 Minutes as the leader in online gaming. Go online to ParadisePoker.com today to find out how you can play for free to compete for the next $1 million prize. Or start playing now to win your spot at the World Series main event this July in Las Vegas. Why not take your shot at becoming the world's next famous poker player today at ParadisePoker.com.
We're back with the Morning Wrap-Up Show. Call Gary and John now at 888-STERN-100. That's 888-STERN-100.
Do you want to hear what I would do?
On your show?
To get a show.
Go ahead.
I would bang you and Beth.
Go to the next one. The next one you're going to love.
Scroll down to Blow Artie.
Welcome back to the wrap-up show. John Hine, Gary Delabate has stepped out to go to the creative meeting, and I'm very thankful that Ralph Sorella is sitting in with me. Nice, always nice to see you, Ralph.
You too.
And we have a very special guest, the woman who has the proud distinction of being the first one to show her breasts on the Howard Stern Show here at Sirius. Everybody say hi to Madison.
Hello, thank you,
Hello,
thank
Madison.
you. I love being a pioneer.
Thanks for coming down. Now tell us, the wrap-up show is all about what happens behind the scenes during what were you thinking walking into that door? You had, obviously you knew it was coming, but what was going through your mind?
I had to have diarrhea. I was close to having it. I was a mess.
Now, you had said during your interview that you were a longtime fan, and you're basically the reason you do this is to be a part of Howard's world and to be on those channels.
Yes.
Then you're in there and you're right there. You're talking to Howard. How did that feel? What was going through your head?
It was what George Takei said. It was surreal. It was the craziest thing, and I'm thinking the whole time, he's going to go after my stomach. He's going to go after my ass. And I just want to be funny. I want him to like me. I just want to be liked. I just want to be liked. I'm so insecure. I'm so freaking insecure. But this has been my goal. He is the master of radio. I've been a DJ for more than a decade. And, we all live up to what he does. I'm probably the biggest fan here at Sirius. None of the other jocks seem to be as jazzed about him as I am. When he signed here, I was beside myself.
How could you be insecure, though, and go into the Howard Stern Show and take your clothes off? Somebody's insecure doesn't do that.
Well, I know I have a decent rack. I know they're small, but they're real. And, I'm not hideous. So if I thought I was hideous, I wouldn't have done it. But, I dolled myself up and I put some sparkles on my boobs and I just did it. I want to show that badly. I know I'm talented, but no one will give me a listen. I gave Sabian the demo 2 months ago, and hey, look what happened.
So you think taking
Howard
your clothes off will get you a show?
You know what? It was a cheap and tawdry way to do it. My parents would be livid. I went to girls' school. I'm a nice Jewish girl. I'm a nice girl. I'm not a bimbo. But it had to be done.
But you were also saying you would lick Benji's balloon knot.
I didn't know what a balloon knot was until Shuli told me.
Oh, man.
I thought it was his balls. Come on, you really think I would do that?
John, did you see her? Did you go into the on-demand room and see her?
No, actually, there's a policy about this here at Sirius. When someone's in there, the doors are shut, and anybody who has a monitor, the doors are locked so that no one can be seen. Actually, Jim McClure's here is a producer of the show. You want to talk about that really quick so everybody knows what's going on once Madison took her top off?
As soon as Madison went into the studio, Ronnie started walking around, locking and slamming doors, because Gary's office has a weird, a wall that opens up to look into the intern area. That was shut and locked, and his door is slammed and locked. And then the other two studios, the in-demand room and Sal and Richard's room, that's shut and locked. And then back in the engineering little area where everybody's standing around, all the engineering guys, they have a little 3x3 monitor. They were all gathering around like a fire in the winter or something like that, sitting there staring at it. So Gary had to go back there and explain to them that they had to turn it off too.
Now, Ralph, how did that contrast how it went down at K-Rock when stuff like this happened?
Well, it's sort of the same thing, but what I'm wondering, what is the policy? Is it a sexual harassment thing that you can't? Why can't everybody gather around and see? Why does Gary get to see and Ronnie get to see, and then he's throwing people out? That doesn't seem fair. Gary's rule?
We'll ask Gary that when he comes back. If he comes back
because at the
end
old
of today.
station, everybody used to just pile into the E room and just see what was doing.
Haven't you seen enough tits by now, though?
No, because you always
never.
Especially you're the first one, so I'm sure everybody was curious, especially here. It's new.
It never gets old.
Even if they're not good, you still want to take a look.
Hands are pretty nice. Now, I enjoy them.
Now, when you were talking about wanting to do a show and talking to Howard and eventually, well, why don't we play clip 4 to see how eventually it went down?
I felt like I was being
Good
late.
Shabbos to my Jewish friends. We are the chosen ones.
Yeah, we are. That's why everyone hates us and they're jealous.
Let me see your tits.
Exactly.
888-STERN-100. That's the number to call. This is the wrap-up show with John, Ralph, and Madison. Ralph, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what kind of show do you want? I'm just confused.
You know what?
Singing? Are you going to sing like that?
No, you know what? I came out of the womb talking. I'm a talker.
Clearly.
I talk.
You might want to pull back on that a little.
Well, right. Listen, I'm a funny broad. I have a lot to say.
Well, you know what? Let's hear
your opinion.
Let's hear what the listeners have to say.
Uh-oh.
Joe in Maine. Joe, you're on the wrap-up show with John, Ralph, and Madison.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? Yeah,
First of all, Howard didn't like your singing. He just wanted to see your tits, so.
Oh, he liked my singing.
Oh, I doubt it. And
bite me.
I think you tried too hard to be like Howard. I mean, talking about going to your psychiatrist and taking the Ambience and burping on.
It's true though. That's what I do. That's who I am.
Yeah,
I do
rip
burp.
Off Howard?
I'm sorry?
You gonna rip off Howard? I mean,
no, I'm not ripping him off. It's all in tribute to him.
Yeah, but guys don't want to hear chicks burping. I mean,
right?
You know, it's just kind of. I
mean, they want to see your tits.
Well, Joe, did you feel like she was just putting on this act and to be like Howard, so Howard would accept her, or did you think that this is just the way she is and it's just not going over well for whatever reason?
No, I mean, I can see what you mean by like trying to get into Howard's show, but I mean, I think she was just trying to do it for Howard. That really wasn't her.
I got a question for you. When you hear a girl like this, and she doesn't no offense, she doesn't sound hot, and she's taking off a rack, and everybody's getting to enjoy that, and you're sitting home listening. Are you zoning out because you're like, damn, I can't, at least seeing her tits would make up for it?
Exactly right. I mean, she didn't sound all that.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I have a lot of listeners. I'm on Alt Nation 21, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific weeknights, and I get a shitload of emails telling me how hot I sound. So I sound hot.
It's funny.
I sound hot. Yeah, maybe I don't sound hot at this very moment, but if I talk like this, maybe I do sound hot.
Okay, so talk like that. That's better.
Right.
You
just weren't in your element. I don't think.
I was in my element, sir. That's who I am. I'm neurotic. I'm Jewish. I go to therapy. I take Prozac. Before I knew who Howard was, I was going to therapy and taking Prozac.
I know, but
all Jews take Prozac and go to therapy.
Like you want to be like Howard, talk like Howard does on the show.
Well, I emulate him because I worship him.
Thanks a lot for the call, Joe. 888-STERN-100. That's the number to reach the wrap-up show with John, Ralph, and our special guest, Madison. It's funny. When Ralph was saying that, Madison gave me this look like, and I'm thinking, if you're a fan, you know exactly what. I mean, this is Ralph.
I know.
I'm surprised he doesn't have.
I'm sensitive.
I'm surprised he doesn't have the pointer out and is, going over you right now.
The top's not off, so.
Listen, I know what my faults are. I know I have no ass. I know my stomach needs work. I've been listening to Howard for years. I don't have the body he wants. That's not. I went in there to get attention, and did I get attention? Yes, I got attention.
And you're on the wrap-up show. Let's go to another call. Cairo.
Hey now.
Hey now.
What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
Madison did a really good job today.
Thank you.
I think you could be the next possible spin-off on the 101 channel, if not a definite Wap Packer.
Now, Cairo.
No offense.
I knew there had to be a punchline there.
I was waiting for it.
No, I didn't want to jab it too hard, but I think it takes a lot of guts to come in there, and do what she did, being the first one, on his birthday show. Which is weird, guys. It was kind of really flat today for a birthday show. You figure someone might stick their head in, like Jackie or somebody, but the show's definitely fallen into its own and sounding great. Every day it's starting to really mold into the way it sounded, a couple of weeks ago when everything was there for the last 20 years,
I think it's because nobody's really had time to put a birthday show together. We had their last show, and then they had the launch, and I think everybody's just wiped, and and you don't even know how this is shaking out yet.
Well,
so.
You guys are doing great, and this after show is just incredible. It definitely gives a lot of listeners a chance to get in with a phone call and say something good, bad, or indifferent, and tell you guys you're doing a really good job.
Thanks a lot for the call. We appreciate it. 888-STERN-100. That's the number to call the wrap-up show. Let's go to Eric in San Diego. Eric, you're on the wrap-up show with John, Ralph, and Madison. Eric, is that you or just a squeaky tone there? All right, let's take another call. Let's go to Terry. Terry, you're on the wrap-up show. We have no Terry. Terry, you there?
But we have technical.
Hey, Terry, you're on the wrap-up show with John, Ralph, and Madison.
Hey, how's it going? I just wanted to say that I think Ralph is being way too hard on Madison. I've been listening to her show for almost a year now, and I've always thought that she sounds really hot, and I've always wondered what she looks like, and I was pretty psyched that she was coming on the show. And I think Ralph has been making a lot of slights towards her about how she sounds and what she's trying to do to get on the show.
Thank you.
I can only judge it on the song and, her being all amped up here. I haven't heard her show, so in my defense.
Madison, in your Alt Nation voice, why don't you say, hey, Howard, how's it going? It's great to be here. And the voice you use on your show. Because, when you slipped into it before, you did sound a little bit different.
Hey, Howard, what's going on? It's Alt Nation 21. It's the Madison show. Got some Coldplay. Just like that.
You see?
Yeah, that's not bad. It's mellow. I wouldn't say it's sexy. But
I don't do the same thing all the time. I do different voices. I sing a lot. I like to sing. I know I'm not the greatest singer, but I enjoy singing.
Okay, well, I mean, you hear that, and that sounds great, but if you play that clip again, Teddy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean, listen to the difference.
I mean, that's bearable.
Good Shabbos to my Jewish friends. We are the chosen ones.
Funny.
Yeah, we are. That's why everyone hates us and they're jealous.
Oh,
Let me see your tits.
Yeah, Howard nails it.
There you go.
He really didn't like it?
What, the song?
The song or the tits? I don't know.
He was bopping his head back and forth.
I think he respected the fact that you sang the opening theme. I know, like, when we do Superfan Roundtable and we sing that, theme song, which is on tonight at 7 o'clock, by the way. Plug. I mean, we all have a great time doing it, and then we go. It kicks off the show. It's got some energy.
Yeah.
But you've got that Jewish nasal thing going during that tune. And
it's John saying you sound very Jewy.
Who said that?
John is basically saying that.
But I respect the fact that you did it.
Thank you.
Let's take one more call. Len in New Hampshire, you're on the wrap-up show with John, Ralph, and Madison.
Yes, I was just calling to say that I like Madison.
Thank you.
I think it'd be really cool if you did get your own show.
Thank you.
And what about Madison did you like?
Pretty much her attitude and just the way she came across. I think it's refreshing. Plus, her voice. I didn't mind her voice at all.
Okay.
Wow. Are you deaf?
Well, I also listen to my Magellan too, and that has a girl voice. So I don't know what it's saying about me.
You listen to any girl's voice, you don't get a vote. But you have a show. So what kind of? You want a different kind of show? You want the Madison
I want to
show?
talk. I get to talk for 20 seconds.
Oh wait, did you?
That's perfect for you. I think you got the right show right now.
Ralph, why don't you listen to my show tonight?
I'm going
Take a
to.
listen. It's
What
a lot
number
of
is
fun.
it? What number is it?
21, Alt
Okay,
Nation.
I'll listen.
It's really a good time. You'll have a good time listening. It's entertaining.
Well,
if that.
Well, I want to thank Madison for coming down to the wrap-up show. She's on Alt
having
Nation.
me.
Oh, no problem. She's on 7 o'clock, did you say?
Yeah, 7 p.m.
7 o'clock at night, and you've got a great taste of her today. And if you want to hear more of Madison, Alt Nation is the place to be, and who knows? Maybe you will end up on one of Howard's channels. We'll see how it goes. And both Ralph and I respect the fact that you went in there to be the first woman to do what you had to do.
It's not easy going in there, period, much less taking your top off.
So true. We're going to talk about that. And coming up, we're going to talk to Richie Balinson, who came in today and talked about what it's like dealing with VIP clients here at Sirius, and Howard's birthday, somebody brought up before, and did it meet expectations? You're listening to the wrap-up show only on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
You're listening to the Morning Wrap-Up Show. Call 888-STERN-100. 888-STERN-100.
Check this out. You can get unlimited local and long-distance phone service to the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico for only $24.95. TomatoVine.com is a phone service that lets you use your broadband internet connection to make and receive calls around the world on your existing phone and current telephone number. Why are you still using conventional phone lines when you can be saving up to 80% on your phone bill with TomatoVine.com? Ditch your current phone company. Switch to TomatoVine. Go to TomatoVine.com right now to find out how you're going to get all your local and long-distance calls in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico for just $24.95 a month. And imagine calling London, Paris, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Sydney, and Beijing for pennies a minute. Plus, TomatoVine gives you tons of free services like voicemail, caller ID, call waiting, and three-way calling. Sign up now, and TomatoVine.com will waive the activation fee and send your adapter free with no shipping charge. That's a $40 value, something no other broadband phone company offers. Become one of the thousands of satisfied TomatoVine customers who are making unlimited local and long-distance calls in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico for just $24.95 a month. Go to TomatoVine.com now. That's TomatoVine.com.
ParadisePoker.com, the pioneer of online poker, is the only poker site that gives you the chance to win $1 million free. Just ask Santino Gambelluri, a U.S. naval officer, or Lee Biddulph, a poker-playing chef. Neither one of them had to spend a dime to win their millions. ParadisePoker.com isn't one of your fly-by-night poker sites. They're a $2 billion publicly traded company with nearly 3 million customers and were recently featured on 60 Minutes as the leader in online gaming. Take your shot today at becoming the world's next famous poker player at ParadisePoker.com.
We're back with the Morning Wrap-Up Show. Call Gary and John now at 888-STERN-100. That's 888-STERN-100.
Welcome back to the wrap-up show. John Hine with Ralph Sorella. 888-STERN-100. 888-STERN-100. That's the number to call. And with us now we have Richie Balinson. Now, Richie is The man to know here at Sirius when it comes to taking care of VIP clients. And on the show today, Howard spoke about his folks and getting set up with satellite radio, and Richie came in and, well, told a few stories, and I want to kind of get into what happens with that and a couple other questions I have for him. First, Richie, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Very happy to have you here. Now, we asked Madison this, and, of course, you didn't have to take off your top, but when you went in there,
thank God,
this is your first time walking into the Howard Stern show. You opened that door, and what's going through your head?
Well, first of all, I knew that day would happen, that I would be called on to do the show. Just to let people know that my office is on the 19th floor, and the studios are on 36. And I actually have to come running across the building from a different elevator bank to come upstairs. So once I heard my name mentioned on the radio, my phone started ringing, and I just zoomed out, tried to get up here as fast as I could.
You made it pretty quick.
Yeah, not bad.
You made good time.
Yeah, not bad.
And when you walked in, what were you thinking? What was going through your head?
I was just waiting for, short, sweet answers. That's all I want to do, and go on and do my job. That's all.
Now, Ralph, you can relate. I mean, what's it like the first time when you walk? I mean, the first time when you walk into that studio. I'm trying to remember the first time I went in. I mean,
yeah, I can't exactly remember, but the feeling never goes away because it's always, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know if Howard's going to say, get out of here. You don't know to sit down. You know there's different microphones in different places, so you don't know what's going to happen. And then you're rapping sometimes, and you see his eyes glaze over, and you're like, oh no, I'm losing him. He's just going to toss me.
I remember the first time that I went in there, I was thinking, if he likes the topic and wants to get into it, I'm golden. If he hates it, I'm dead. And thankfully, he liked what I was talking about, although I bored Ralph to tears a few times. And but sitting there, you're just like, I'm on the Howard Stern show. I mean, that's at least what was going through my head, just the whole incredulity of the whole thing.
I mean, I've been listening to the show for a really long time, and when it came over from K-Rock, I knew that day would come. But when I was running over here, I wasn't even thinking about what else, if he asked this or if he asked that. Then he asked the question about when was the last time I got laid, and then that just came out of left field. And I should have said right off the bat last night,
right?
But it actually has been 6 months, He says, and then he talks about being Jewish and coming into his house, and like he thought I was a strange guy, and then he thought I was a cool guy, which I liked hearing, which is pretty cool. And just out of left field, he asked about when I got laid, and I said 6 months ago.
And was that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think and you went through your mind to lie and say yesterday, and you're always better off being real on the show.
You need to be honest and upfront, because if you're not, the bullshit detector in there is just. I mean, everybody's razor sharp.
Right, they
with
can
it.
definitely pick up if you're lying.
Big time, big time. 888-STERN-100. That's the number to call the wrap-up show. John Hine with Ralph Sorella and Richie Bailenson. Now, Richie, what was it like dealing with Ben and Ray when it came to setting them up?
Actually, this is my third time to the house. They're great people. They really are very sweet people. And I try, especially for who they are, older folks and stuff like that, I try to introduce them to a new technology very easily, and because they're older people, and change is sometimes not good.
Right.
Change is always good. They don't even have an answering machine at the house. I tried calling them 5 days in a row to make an appointment to come over, and they don't have an answering machine. They're very active, busy people, and I can't even get a message to them because they don't have an answering machine, and they don't want one.
Why'd you have to go 3 times? That seems like you just have to go once and set up some radios.
Oh, no, I went once to pick up the car. Howard got Ben and Ray a new car, so I actually put Sirius in the car. Then just to follow up on putting radios in the den and up in their bedroom, and just making sure everything's good. Since I did it maybe 5-6 months ago originally, and then I just went back yesterday.
Now, those of you who might not have been listening to the show when Richie was on, he's installed radios or been responsible for it at a number of different, big-time celebrities like Eminem and Martha Stewart. Like, who were a couple that you were saying before?
Well, the nicest person that I've done, so far, which people from the show will laugh, is Cousin Brucey. He was.
He's a guy. He's a great guy. I see him in the halls all the time. He's fun. Nice guy.
He has an apartment in the city, an apartment upstate, a house upstate. I went up to there with my car installer, who I use to install vehicles with, because I facilitate the activations, the installations, but I don't actually do the physical work.
Gotcha.
So he actually got out behind a barbecue, made us a barbecue lunch, sat down with us, we went for a swim. He wanted us to go for a swim, and he gave us such a nice day out in the country.
Sounds like Cousin Brucey is desperately looking for friends. I mean, it's one thing to give you a drink, but to invite you for a swim, I mean, you're a nice guy, but I'd throw you out.
On the way home, me and John, we were just saying, what a nice guy. The whole 5-hour ride home from the house.
Yeah, that's nice. So who was the worst?
I can't say.
Come on. Give us a hint.
Give us a clue.
I can't say.
Hint. Did she have an ankle bracelet on?
No.
Come on, man.
No.
He said no. No. Let's get back to what I asked you initially now. Are you replaying it over and over in your head when you were in there, like what you should have said differently or done differently, or because you know you're going to be in there again?
Well, when he was talking about the sex part and my last time I got laid, I was actually thinking, listen, since he signed on to Sirius, my life has been hell. Phone calls all over, my cell phone rings 24 hours, 24/7. Especially this week, my phone doesn't stop ringing. My answering machine in my office, I have 85 messages. I can't get to all the calls, people activating. These people knew 15 months ago that Howard was coming. I don't know why they waited until the last moment.
Where's my S50, by the way?
It's coming. You get it tomorrow.
Mine too? No. Richie is definitely the guy you want to know here, that's for sure. Well, I want to thank Richie for coming in. We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Guys.
Not a problem. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Howard's birthday, and we're going to recap what went on today, and Ralph's going to talk about what it's like trying to get a gift for Howard that he's going to like. God knows he lets you know if he doesn't like it. Mm-hmm. And a couple other things. You're listening to the wrap-up show on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
Listening to the Morning Wrap-Up Show. Call 888-STERN-100. 888-STERN-100. Coming up on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
What's going on, you sick bastards? Bubba the Love Sponge today, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. As a matter of fact, we called Tony Stewart's handler yesterday. I guess he got in kind of a serious car wreck in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll be trying to check out on him again. Probably some anal talk and maybe some herpes talk. We used to have a urologist on my show that specialized in male sexuality, and we got some calls from guys that got herpes and were describing the lesions on their penis. Only on my show, Bubba the Love Sponge on Howard 101.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show. You got me right where you want it. On Howard 101.
Every day, your company's computers are being attacked
by spam, spyware, and viruses
designed to invade your business and compromise your privacy. And there's only one way to stop it.
The Barracuda Network's spam and spyware firewalls.
Whether it's annoying spam or dangerous viruses or spyware, Barracuda Networks has an easy-to-install device that will ensure your business's privacy and safety. So tell your boss or IT specialist today that you know exactly how to stop spyware, spam, viruses,
malicious traffic,
even detect and facilitate repairs and infected machines already on your network. Call Barracuda Networks and ask for your free trial of the world's most secure firewalls. Call 888-ANTI-SPAM. 888-ANTI-SPAM for your free trial. Barracuda Networks spam and spyware firewalls are used by over 30,000 companies at leading universities around the world. So choose the firewall that has won Network Computing Magazine's Editor's Choice for 2 years running. Call 888-ANTI-SPAM.
888-ANTI-SPAM.
Or go online to barracudanetworks.com.
Serious.
One play can change a season each week. One forced fumble by a linebacker with one serious mean streak is recovered by the defense. That's the moment that counts. In football, every moment counts. Visit Bodog.com/radio and we'll match your $50 deposit for free. Then bet on your team so you don't miss your moment. Bodog.com. Sports. Play hard.
Get all the college hoops you can handle with the ESPN Full Court Pay-Per-View Package. Catch the free preview January 6th through the 13th and watch critical matchups you won't see without ESPN Full Court. Hoops Heaven, from the people who live and breathe college basketball. ESPN Full Court. Watch on TV or online. To order, call your pay-per-view provider or go to ESPN.com, keyword Full Court.
Games telecast locally may also be included in ESPN Full Court. Subscription subject to applicable sales tax. Games subject to local blackout. Commercial locations require an appropriate license agreement.
Order now.
We're back with the Morning Wrap-Up Show. Call Gary and John now at 888-STERN-100. That's 888-STERN-100.
Happy birthday, by the way. Thank you.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 49.
What?
49.
37.
I'm 37, right. I am a very spry 52.
Spry?
Yeah, it's weird, man.
That's an old term.
Welcome back to the wrap-up show. John Hein with John Hein and Gary Delabate. Ralph Sorella sitting in for Gary. The number to call, 888-STERN-100. That's 888-783-7610. This is all about what happens behind the scenes every day at the Howard Stern Show. Ralph, what do you want to say?
Just to hear Howard say he's 52 is amazing.
Why is that?
He does not look like a 52-year-old guy. He doesn't act, you know what I mean? It gives us all hope for growing old.
Well, he said a couple times how he was, in better. He said he was in better shape than everybody else in that room, every other guy in that room.
That's probably true.
It's definitely true, and actually than most of the who are sitting outside that room. But let's talk about the birthday, Ralph. Do you think Howard expected something to happen today? Like some kind of birthday show or surprise or whatever else? I mean, if you're a longtime fan and listener to the show, birthdays get pretty out of control around here.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times we've had the big birthday blowouts, and then, sometimes it's just a little, intros and show and that kind of thing. But I kind of think that I think everybody is everybody really wrapped in what's starting up here and the ending the other thing. And I don't know if he was expecting too much in all reality. He doesn't expect anything from anybody. I mean, you know what I mean? He's gracious.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting nothing. I was just sort of expecting maybe some, hellos and things like that, but nothing big.
Let's go to the phones on this. Jack in Ohio. Jack, you were on the wrap-up show with John Hein and Ralph Sorella.
Hey.
Hey now.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
I just wanted to call and just mention how I was I'm sure everybody's been saying this, but just how the birthday show, I was kind of let down. Everyone said in the news the night before that they didn't have anything planned, but I still figured there was probably some kind of surprise.
And?
Well, and I'm just kind of disappointed that there wasn't.
I think what Ralph's saying is true. Being here, I mean, this is my first week here full time.
Right.
Everybody's running around literally with their heads cut off, doing so many different things, trying to make the show right. I mean, we had Fred in here yesterday. You heard what happened there. And it's hard to plan a birthday party during all of that.
Yeah, I mean, the breaks aren't even right. I mean, I missed the breaks, and, there's no sort of downtime, so you don't even have that, so that'd be really hard to put a birthday show together.
Right, and I don't, like I said, I don't blame you guys. You guys are doing a wonderful job. I'm absolutely loving my radio. I got it specifically for Howard, and I'm loving every second of it. Just, it's just a shame, that's all.
All right, thanks for the call, Jack. Let's go to John in Jersey. John, you are on the wrap-up show with John and Ralph.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I wanted to bring up Howard's present today. I thought it was a big move to Sirius and, coincides with his birthday. He just sounded a little disappointed. I thought the present was a little impersonal.
Did you think that the present, came up short, like it should have been something else?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he sounded disappointed. It was a good prop for the show, but he just said, oh, I only get one present,
See, I kind of think that's, Sirius in a way saying, hey, we're with you being crazy. Like K-Rock would have never gave him something wacky like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a good sign for all of us.
Right.
And that, John, that was like a massage chair that you can jump in, and
it was like a female masturbation chair, which he had talked about. Right, it's like a saddle, and he had talked about it beforehand. It's perfect. It's perfect for the show. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
All right.
One other point I wanted to see: the show is falling into sync, but they really need to get back to, the routines of different segments that they did in the show, like the Win Fred's Money and stuff like that. I would like to see maybe George go against Fred in that.
And Win Fred's Money?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the call, John. I mean, it's 4 days.
That'll happen. I mean, listen, the girl came in and took her top off today. I mean, it'll get back to that. But didn't everybody kind of feel like when a girl was coming in and take their top off, it was like, okay, we're settled in almost. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, back to basics.
Right. Now we're home.
Fun. Yeah, it was great.
That's a good point. Let's go 888-STERN-100. That's the number to reach the wrap-up show. Let's go to Chuck in Florida. Chuck, you're on the wrap-up show with John and Ralph. Chuck?
No, this is Gary.
Oh, Gary. Sorry about that. You're on the wrap-up show with John and Ralph. How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good, thanks. What'd you think of the birthday show today?
I was rather disappointed too. I like Howard. I totally expected him to get roasted today. So to hear what happened, I mean, Richard, how long has he been with the show and he gives him a fucking Batman figurine?
Yeah, that was...
I mean, I don't understand it, It's,
I didn't hear
that. Known, what Howard was going to do with that,
Yeah, Richard showed his true colors there by giving a Batman...
Richard Christie
did, thinking that Howard would love it because it was Batman, and Howard's Howard, I believe, said he was going to give it to a kid that he knew.
But hasn't he been
Probably me.
I mean, he's gotten his figurines before,
Right.
I mean that's something Ralph would want. No offense, Ralph.
No offense. I'll take it. Howard will probably give it to me today when I see him later.
Ralph's rubbing his hands right now.
Yeah,
he can't wait to get his hands
I hope
on
it's a good one. But
the show is really great. You guys are doing a great job. I pretty much everybody else I think would be in agreement that we expected something more today. Than what we got as far as his birthday. But, Ralph brought up a good point that, people are running around, they're busy, and they probably just didn't have time to do it, but hopefully somebody comes up with something for him.
All right, thanks a lot for your call.
I'm just going to say, Howard is really hard to buy for. I mean, he's been a friend of mine for years, and I've worked with him for years, and it's still hard for me to buy for him.
What do you, I mean, you don't have to say the gifts, but what kind of things do you get him?
Well, first of all, my main function for him is styling for him and buying his clothes and that kind of thing. So I always, that seems too easy for me. I think I can't just buy him a piece of clothing. I got to think, so one year I did this thing for him where I took his grandfather's diamond, which was very special to him, which had been on something, and I had Steven Singer make up this whole piece of jewelry, really nice, and put it on a piece of leather. Hated it. Like, it was too heavy for him. I said, oh my God, he's going to love this. His grandfather's diamond. He can wear it all the time. So, I mean, this is only a couple of years ago this happened, and, so I can't even hit the mark sometimes, and sometimes I do.
Is there a certain point where you just give up? I mean, it's like, get him a card, because he knows that that whatever you're going to get him just isn't going to live up to expectations.
Yeah, but you got to do something,
The effort has to be
the effort. He appreciates the effort on any level, I think. But also, I also think he gets pissed off when somebody buys him something that's so out of character, because when you get a gift and it's like you're thinking, well, what the fuck, does this person even know me? And like, what am I going to do with this? It's like, as long as you're in the realm of you're thinking it's something that he might be interested in, that I'm sure he appreciated me making that piece of jewelry for him. He wasn't like, what was he thinking? I think it's when somebody gives him that kind of thing, like, well, what the hell is this person thinking?
And of course today Sal gives him $5 and says, you can buy breakfast, and Howard's just like.
It's not even funny. It's not fun.
Not fun or funny. Yeah. 888-STERN-100, that's the number to call to join the wrap-up show. John Hein here with Ralph Sorella. Let's go to, Double A. Double A, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey now, how's it going? What's going on, guys? Hey, awesome fucking job, first of all, John. You're doing a great job with Gary or Ralph, whoever's in there. But listen, the birthday show, man, it was, it is what it is. Like everybody says, it's, it's only 4 days in. But fuck, man, I was thinking like maybe like some kind of scores girls in there giving out fucking, goodies and shit, hand jobs or something, I would have liked to hear that shit, I would have loved to be in there getting a hand job myself or something,
Well, I mean, a girl did take her top off. I know it wasn't that, but, and Howard never billed this as the birthday show. Yeah. Nobody did.
Nobody did, but I'm saying, shit, man, somebody should have put their fucking heads together and fucking did something for the
kid, maybe he's right. Maybe a little something, maybe some huge celebrity to come in and just say happy birthday or something like that.
Shit, man, lap dance from a hottie, anything, what the fuck?
All right, thanks a lot, Double A.
Hey, bro,
appreciate
keep
the
up
call,
the good work, man.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Let's go to Chuck in Florida, who I missed before. Chuck, you're on the wrap-up show with John and Ralph.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
What's on your mind, Chuck?
Today's show wasn't good. I mean, I agree nobody billed it as the Howard Stern birthday show, but, you lead us to expect something. There was no time. I mean, I kind of figured, come on, Robin. She does the news, but during the show, she's not doing a hell of a lot. She could have pulled something together. I mean, historically, you guys put together a show that just, puts us in our seats. It's just amazing. I'll miss portions of work just to go out in the parking lot and listen.
Damn, you know what? You're only as good as your last show. You know, you just launched the thing yesterday, and people are already getting disappointed. You know,
well, I think part of
incredible.
I think part of it is because the birthday shows in the past were just so amazing. I mean, it's so incredible.
And I guess we know what's going on around here, and it's I don't think anybody thought there was going to be some big, you know, birthday show kind of thing, because we all know what kind of time and effort everybody's been putting in here.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Chuck. Let's go to Al in Jersey. Al, you're on the wrap-up show with John and Ralph.
What's up, John? What's up, Rob?
How's it going, man?
Hey.
All right. Listen, John, you're doing a great job, and Ralph, I love you, dude. I love the show, but you know the call is more directed towards Ralph. I mean, what the fuck is this, Ralph 100, dude? You're on every fucking show, man.
I'm going to be on Bubba's show later, around 5 or 6.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah,
oh my God, I got to hear you again. But I mean, like I said, you know, you're great, but you know, like just fucking chill out a little bit, dude. You're like on every goddamn show, man.
You're saying Ralph is overexposed?
I would say that. I mean, Ralph in small doses is good. You know, he's got some good stuff to say. He's got the inside scoop, you know, on some of the things with Howard. He hangs out with him and everything. But I mean, you know, enough is enough. Goddammit, you know, like once in a while. But I love you, Ralph. Take care, guys.
To a certain point.
Ralph, you're loved. You know, I say this all the time. I always introduce Ralph as the guy you love to love and love to hate. And before we even worked together on this, I'll tell you, Ralph annoyed the hell out of me on the Howard show. But that's Ralph's role, and he's great at it. And he has a lot of astute observations. I mean, particularly, like, if any time there's a girl in there, he's incredible at it, at picking them apart. And also, he says a lot of things that people may be thinking, but not necessarily saying. That's his role. And he's always been great at that. And I'm glad I'm working with him anyway.
Thank you. And I was very surprised, you know, when your name, I mean, you used to drive me crazy on the show. I'm like, why does Howard have, you know, it's like he put me to sleep. I'd be like, well, get it, you know, because I'm sitting there going, John, say something about, you know, I expected you to be, you know, in there saying stuff. So when we first started working together, I was like, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me. But you're great, man.
I appreciate that.
I really love you.
And it's true. Whenever I went in there doing I know Ralph's coming over to kiss me now. When we were doing whenever I went in there to do the Jump the Shark stuff, I would be talking about the shows and this and that, and it'd be going pretty good. And then Ralph's on the phone, and I'm just like, oh,
everybody cringes.
Here it comes. Let's take one last call on the birthday. Keith, you are on the wrap-up show with John and Ralph. We lost Keith. Let's go to Steve. Steve, you've got the last word on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, man. The only thing is, I wanted to see on the birthday show, Levy rip Howard. That's what I was looking for, man.
Well, Levy's coming in next week, so you'll definitely hear his 2 cents, and actually, he's sitting in on the Superfan Roundtable tonight. He's one of the panelists.
Oh, he's on Roundtable tonight?
Roundtable tonight's going to be myself, Ralph, Reverend Bob, Mutt, and Lori, the hottest chick, biggest fan contest winner. So, should be a lot of fun.
That should be interesting, too, because I think Bob's the guy who's always bad-mouthing me, saying, like, I ignore him. Meanwhile, I don't even know what he looks like, so, you know. What an ego.
So, Steve, although we didn't do it on the birthday show, you may hear that later tonight at 7 o'clock.
If Artie came out and did a little birthday line of Coke for Howard, just for the old time's sake, that'd be nice. I'd see that.
We'll try to arrange that, Steve. Thanks a lot for the call. And I want to thank our guests today, Madison, the first girl to take her top off on the Howard Stern Show, Richie Bailenson, and, of course, Ralph Sorella for sitting in for Gary. Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you for having me.
This was the wrap-up show, only on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
You've been listening to the Morning Wrap-Up Show with Gary Delabate and John Hein. Stay tuned now for Howard 100 News, live at noon, exclusively on Howard 100.
This is Howard 100 News, the nation's leading source of all things Howard, with George Flowers, Erica Phillips, and the This is Howard 100 News, the nation's leading source of all things Howard, with George Flowers, Erica Phillips, and the Howard 100 News team. Now, Howard 100 News at noon.
Howard 100.
So the answer is no. No big surprises, small surprises, medium level surprises, no surprises.
Howard Stern turns 52 and the staff arrives bearing cake and gifts. We'll tell you about it.
His friend told me he's not doing too good right now. They said that, like, he had some kind of, like, a little brain stuff, too, and his heart is not good at all.
Sean Rooney, Beetlejuice's manager, remains hospitalized after suffering an apparent stroke. We have an update on his condition.
I'm just going to show my tatas. They're just boobs. You know, people walk around in Africa, willy-nilly, boobs shaking in the wind.
Serious DJ Madison makes history. She becomes the first woman to expose her breasts on the all-new Howard Stern Show.
there are times that some things have happened that he's not been comfortable with, and he actually does want security around.
Sirius is serious about security in the aftermath of Howard's arrival. This is Howard 100 News. I'm Erica Phillips.
And I'm George Flowers. Our top story. It's a milestone day for the king of all media. He turns 52 today. And a staff marked the day with a lavish cake, sporting his Black Fist logo and with at least one very unique gift. Candles were lit, Howard blew, and George Takei smiled broadly. With a story on Howard's big day, Howard 100 News reporter Lisa G.
So where were all the birthday balloons? Believe it or not, it was business as usual backstage at the Howard Stern Show. Well, doesn't the king of all media always have a big birthday blowout show? I decided to find out and asked segment producer, Young Will.
What do you mean, what are the big birthday plans?
Well, usually he has a big birthday celebration going on his birthday, on air.
Not necessarily. Actually, probably since I've been with the show, there hasn't been a birthday show, so why?
Because I know you guys are probably going to bring in a strip or something.
Nah, well, I hope so, but maybe I don't know anything about it.
All right, let's ask Jason. Jason, any big birthday surprises?
No. Well, if there was a surprise, I certainly wouldn't tell you about it. So the answer is no. No big surprises, small surprises, medium-level surprises. No surprises today for Howard.
Snooping with Gary. Any big surprises for the king of all media's birthday?
Yes, Lisa, you will go in and take all your clothes off. It'll be a huge surprise.
Yes, it would be.
No big surprises today. Believe it.
Because you're spent, right?
No, it's not that we're spent. We just finished wrapping up a show. We had to make our move over here. We finished starting up a new show. We're not even finished starting it up. We have a million things to do. And Howard's always been sort of like, let my birthday go. It's embarrassing when you bring people in.
Ronnie, the limo driver, I guess you were the first person to wish Howard a happy birthday today.
Yes, I was. Well, and maybe Beth was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wasn't sleeping in between them this morning, I don't think. But no, I was the first one to see him.
And what'd he say?
Thank you very much.
Does it feel like it's his birthday?
No, he doesn't like birthdays anymore. Once you hit that certain age, you don't like birthdays anymore.
Well, the crew did manage to sneak in a large chocolate birthday cake and sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. There is a beautiful chocolate cake with the fist, the Howard 100 and 101 logo.
And yes, there was a surprise, a big gift-wrap box with a sex toy inside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the female masturbation machine.
It's a female masturbation machine, which we can set up in the studio. Thank you, Tim. That's beautiful. It's a saddle with a big giant dong hanging.
Programming assistant Cara Dove was the one who bought and wrapped Howard's birthday present, and it wasn't easy.
It was hard because it was so heavy. That thing weighed like 100 pounds.
Were you embarrassed?
Well, it was in a box, so nobody could really see it. So I felt safe doing it in the hallway right here.
Did you have to buy it?
I did. I bought it online. And I was afraid I was going to get fired because I had this porn on my computer.
Did you even know where to go online to buy it?
Yeah, someone had given me a website.
And how much did it cost?
Oh my God, it was expensive. I don't know if I can say. It's a pretty penny.
I feel for her.
Howard 100's Lisa G. is
All
live
I know
with
is
us.
landsend.com. That's it.
She's live with us here in the studio to talk about this. Lisa, did you get any of the Howard Stern birthday cake?
No, I did not, but it did smell very delicious. Thick chocolate ganache, chocolate swirls on it, and it looked very yummy.
I have to say, I've seen people walking around the
Really?
studio. Yes, walking around the hallways of Sirius Satellite Radio with paper plates of cake.
Yeah.
It was serious sin.
Yes, it was, but
Seriously
I understand
sin.
that the king of all media doesn't even eat that stuff, so just smelling it alone made you feel fat.
I was in the green room before the headlines. You were doing headlines this morning, too.
Yes.
You had the first set of headlines for Howard 100 News on the Howard Stern Show live this morning. How was that?
It was okay. The studio was much more comfortable than I thought it would be with people, and I just felt very far away from the king.
Right.
He was holding court for sure. But coming up in this newscast, I'm going to give you a little taste of a woman who got Howard and Robin together. She's the person responsible for that team.
Wow.
And she hasn't talked to anyone ever about her decision and her reasoning as to why she thought these two would make a good team.
Well, did a great job pairing them up, that's for sure. Howard 100's Lisa G. We look forward to your report later in the broadcast.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. Last night, we reported to you that Beetlejuice manager Sean Rooney had apparently suffered a very serious stroke. We go now to Howard 100 News reporter Steve Langford for the very latest on his condition.
Erica, the 36-year-old manager of Stern favorite Beetlejuice, reported to have suffered a stroke over the weekend. I got through on the phone to the New Jersey hospital room where Rooney now is. A woman who identified herself as the sister of Sean's wife answered. I asked her how Sean is doing. Not well, she indicated to me. We understand Sean is undergoing tests today, but the news is not good. According to comedian Reverend Bob Levy, who spoke just moments ago to a friend of Sean's, Rooney cannot undergo surgery because reportedly his heart is too weak. What's more, there is some swelling of the brain, according to this report. Sean Rooney said to be on anti-clotting medicine and blood thinners. One person who reportedly spoke briefly to Rooney says he sounds slow, like talking to an old man. The key question here, how does a young man in his mid-30s suffer a stroke? I put that question to Reverend Bob Levy late this morning.
I have no idea. I tell you, I know he's high-strung, you know what I mean? Like, he could be really low-key, nicest guy in the world, but then he'll just snap, you know what I mean? He's very into the business, and if he doesn't think it's going his way, I've seen him snap. He snapped at me, and he snapped at a lot of people. So I always told him, you got to calm down, man. There's no reason to get upset over little bullshit. So I'm sure that, like, being, getting crazy like that doesn't help on something like that.
Beetlejuice's manager, Sean Rooney, known for his mercurial behavior, apparently banned at one point from Stern's old station K-Rock because of alleged threats against Tom Chiasano. Sean Rooney and his wife have a young son. Rooney's friends already putting together a benefit show in Philadelphia, scheduled for Friday, February 10th. Details on that at 6 p.m. Eastern on Howard 100 News. No one seems to have spoken to Beetlejuice himself, but one report has him at the hospital in New Jersey where his manager, Sean Rooney, is in rough shape.
Yeah, one has to wonder how Beetlejuice will fare in the wake of this. Beetlejuice depends so much on Sean. He doesn't have an awful lot of capacity to get around on his own and so on. So we're hoping, we're praying for him.
Is there a chance, Steve, that you will get a hold of Beetlejuice? It's a difficult time.
It's hard because it usually goes through Sean to get to.
Right, exactly.
That could be a tall order at this point, but all around a tough situation in New Jersey there.
Yeah, we're praying for him. Steve Langford of Howard 100 News, and hers were the first set, or actually I guess was the first set of bare breasts to air on the Howard Stern Show on Sirius Satellite Radio. She's a jock who works here, and the question is, why did DJ Madison expose herself to the king of all media on the air this morning? Howard 100's Shuley was sent to investigate, and he found out the following.
Wendy Rickman, better known as Madison, a DJ here at Sirius Satellite Radio, working on Channel 21, Alt Nation. For weeks now, Madison has been harping and bugging me and telling me how the only thing she wants is her show on Howard 100 or 101. But she seems to be bothered by a pattern that's been going on with the show. She's told me countless times, the show just wants porn stars, whores, they want prostitutes. So today was Wendy's big debut on the Howard Stern Show. And exactly why was Wendy on the show today?
To be a whore, a prostitute, and a porn star.
First I asked Madison if she's uptight about showing her breasts.
I'm just going to show my tatas. They're just boobs. People walk around in Africa willy-nilly, boobs shaking in the wind. They're for nurturing and nourishing children.
It's a part of life.
Life. They're just cans. Cans is cans, Shuley.
Knowledge is knowledge. Then I asked Madison if her bosses know what she's up to today.
They know I'm going to be here. They know I'm talking about a cousin that I date. They don't know what I'm planning on doing.
Then we uncovered another strange revelation. Madison is dating her cousin.
Yes, I is.
And banging.
Hard.
All right. What's that like?
Sometimes I think about, the family members we have in common. He's distant enough that it's okay. At first I was kind of skeeved out, but then I went online to cousincouples.com, and it's okay. It's kind of a Christian thing, and me being Jewish, it's a little off, but Grandma said it was okay, and so the rabbi said it was fine.
How much of your family knows that you guys are dating?
Everybody.
And they're okay with it?
Thrilled. They're just thrilled I found someone.
Well, before Madison went in, I went around the office to get a vibe of what some of the guys, the veterans of the Stern Show, thought of Madison. And I ran into young Will, who had this to say.
Big boo. Should not be the first girl getting naked on the Howard Stern Show at Sirius. We're not beggars. That's a problem. We have a million hot models that want to come in here and get naked every day, and this is the first girl we're choosing to get naked. It's just a bummer. Number one, chick should be under 30.
Is there a number two?
Probably 35 in her case, 40. I don't know what it is. Number two, no chick that gets naked on the Howard Stern Show, her gut should never stick out farther than her tits.
So before the big moment, I decided to be a gentleman and console her. I don't know what else we can do other than just wish you luck. I hope everything goes well. I think you'll do fine. Just be yourself and show your tits.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. Coming up, we're beefing up security, that is. Howard 100's Mike Piazza will be live with us here in the studio. He's been talking to the folks who protect the king of all media and some of the other people here at Sirius. This is Howard 100 News.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. This is our midday report, and little did Sirius know that when it hired Howard Stern, it was going to get a lot more than just Howard and his group coming in each day. Howard 100 News reporter Mike Piazza is here in the studio with us live, and he explains. Michael, what are you talking about?
George, it's an interesting situation. When they made the deal with Howard, I don't know if they knew what they were getting themselves into, because there's a whole cast of characters that are going to follow Howard over here. And no matter how much you listen to Howard on terrestrial radio, you know that there's a group called the Whack Pack. And they've been in and out of the 36th floor and apparently at times roaming on another floor. So, the first point of contact when you come here is you meet our lovely receptionist, Nicole Salpeter. She has to confront with these people every time they're here, and this is a little bit of what she told me happens when the Whack Pack shows up in front of her.
I've witnessed the craziest of crazy wackadoos come in here.
Describe their behavior.
They sort of loiter around here and bother me.
So I wanted to take it, a step further with Nicole and really find out how bad this particular problem was. And one of the first things that Nicole told me was she's been hit on more than once.
Sometimes, I'll have them hit on me. Sometimes I'll have them sit and pester me with questions,
You've been hit on so far?
Yeah, Double A kind of worked me for a little while, and I really had to tell him that he was just too short for me,
And so obviously that didn't work, but on top of that, she's bothered on a regular basis. So I wanted to go to the real source of the issue, and I wanted to talk to security because they've placed 2 security guards who are former New York City detectives, now retired, and they stand in front of the Howard 100 complex every day, and they watch who comes in and out. And this is some of what they told me.
You don't know what may happen. From past experience and what I've heard from people that work with Howard, there are times that some things have happened that he's not been comfortable with, and he actually does want security around while he's on the show or what he's doing on the show. So in terms of what Sirius has to provide for him, we will try to provide that same service, and if that's what makes him comfortable, then that's what we'll do.
Okay, and that's basically what they've been doing since his first day on the air. And the other thing that they told me was he comes in and leaves through a secure entrance. He comes in with his own security guard. And on top of that, when Howard's done, those 2 security guards leave that post and they return the next day for the next show.
Right. And Mike, I just want to, in the 4 days that these folks have been on the job for Howard at Sirius, any incidents yet?
So far, they have not encountered anything, but the one thing that Ms. Salpeter told me was this. There have been sightings by other Sirius employees with various whackpackers roaming the halls. So I asked the security guards and the head of security, Tom Gorgala, if that's happened, and he says they've not encountered that yet, but if Ms. Salpeter needs any type of assistance, they're there because they take care of all of Sirius, not just Howard.
But will she be hit on by a 300-pound man who talks like Mickey Mouse? We'll have to wait and see.
That's in the next report.
Okay. That's Mike Piazza, Howard 100 News reporter.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. Well, he's not gay, but he does carry a purse. Howard 100 News reporter Penny Crone finds out why Howard Stern carries a man purse. And what's he keeping in it?
Is Howard Stern not only the king of all media, but the king of all feminine sides? Howard has been spotted trolling around his Sirius satellite offices carrying a man purse. And not just any man purse. A purse that seems to be growing bigger and bigger with more and more little bags inside of it.
And so your man purse is full of the little pouches?
Bags? Yeah, like a girl.
Like, what do you have in the little bag?
One's all my iPod junk, which is coming real handy because whenever I need it, I can just whip it out. And then I've got one little bag. This is really embarrassing. With, like, mints and toothpicks, like a chick, like my mom used to carry.
Right. Once that hit the airwaves on Howard 100, everyone started talking about it, especially men. Mike Dominici is a truck driver who told me, if it makes Howard happy, it makes him happy. You know what he carries in it?
Probably, like, hand wipes. I'm sure it's shit like that. Hand wipes and hand sanitizers and all that.
You still love him, though?
Hell yeah, every day.
Even though he carries a man purse?
Guy's the greatest. Best interviewer and best to be interviewed out of everybody so far.
But if you had something to say to him about the man purse, what would it be?
Ditch that shit and fucking, I don't know, get one of those travel purses that you put underneath your shirt that they wear in Europe so they don't get robbed or anything like that. I don't know, it's something. Buy pants with bigger pockets.
We spotted one guy walking down the street wearing a very weird hat and carrying a white canvas bag with some kind of strange pink decorations all over it.
It's what is it? It's a tote bag. It's like a man purse, but it's a little less girly.
Now, do you think Howard is looking for the more feminine side of him?
I can't answer that question.
What do you think, though?
What?
About Howard carrying a man purse.
Oh, well, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. You know.
Okay, guys, don't rag on Howard's purse too much. It seems man purses have been around for a while, and lately they're becoming more in vogue, if you will. Christy Farah knows all about man purses because she heads up the video fashion company and trendsetter Vidicom.
I think now that he's gone big time and is doing satellite radio, he probably needs more space in his man purse to carry all the money around he's making. That's what I think. Either that or he has chosen to get into cosmetics in a deep way and has added a few little accessories in that purse.
So, Howard, I'm sure I'll see you in the hallway carrying your man purse, and I can't wait to just say, "Hi, Howard. I'm Penny Crone, Howard 100 News."
Penny Crone joins us now live here in Studio 11. Boy, are we glad to have you on.
I'm always live. I am alive.
You're a live wire is what you are.
Thank God.
And you have a preview of your in-depth story with Stern Show funny guy Artie Lang. Tell us about it.
What a character he is.
Yeah. What a character you are.
Oh, the two of us together, forget about it. Talk about a terrific interview. Artie Lang fills the bill. What a really nice guy, and he's cute and fun. He's like a big bear. Most know he's a comedian, and most know that he's been a comedian for many years, but how did he land up being Howard's funny man? In 1998, his good buddy, Norm Macdonald, took him to the Howard Stern Show. The rest is history.
Howard was busting Norm's chops a little bit. At the time, there was a story in the news that Norm was supposed to be dating Elle Macpherson, and Norm didn't want to talk about that. It was in the gossip columns. So as soon as Howard brought that up, Norm just went, "Hey, my friend Artie's here." And Howard's like, who the hell's that? Who cares? He goes, "That's my buddy. We're in the movie together. You know, he's a comedian, and we did the movie together." So Howard said, "Well, you could bring him in. I'll ignore him." So when he brought me in, as they're putting the headsets on the air, I remember Gary was putting the headphones on me. Norm says this to Howard. He goes, "Hey, Howard, you'll like Artie. He got kicked off of Mad TV because of cocaine."
Okay, at 6, Artie tells me exclusively about his life, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He even tells me about mom and dad and sis. And when is Artie getting married?
Penny, we all want to know that.
Well, it may be me.
Is there anyone who really wants to marry him? That's the question.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
I of course I know that. Howard 100's Penny Crone live here in the studio. He rubs shoulders with the rich and famous. He's been in the homes of people like Martha Stewart and Howard Stern. Is he a head of state? Or is he a movie star? He's neither. He's Richie Balinson, and he installs Sirius satellite radios for VIPs. We're going to meet him next. You're listening to Howard 100 News.
You're listening to Howard 100 News, and joining us now live here in Studio 11, Ralph Howard, with the latest headlines from the world beyond Howard Stern. There is a world beyond Howard Stern, isn't there?
Absolutely. We've got some news about it, too, Erica and George. Day 4 of the Senate confirmation hearings for Samuel Alito, President Bush's nominee for the Supreme Court, and the questions and responses still have a very familiar ring. For example, New York Senator Chuck Schumer telling Alito to come up with real answers, to be specific.
A response is not an answer. And you've responded to more than 300 questions, but in all due respect, you haven't answered enough of them.
Today, Utah Republican Orrin Hatch says Alito is not being treated fairly. He accuses Democrats of creating phony issues to generate controversy. Ted Kennedy said the hearings are aimed at getting answers, but we're coming away with even more questions about Judge Alito. A horrible tragedy during the yearly pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. At least 345 Muslim pilgrims have been crushed to death as a huge crowd was trying to perform a stoning ritual. In Tokyo, experts from around the world are talking about what to do in case there's a bird flu pandemic. In New York, your parents have been busted in the beating death of a 7-year-old girl in their Brooklyn apartment. Cops have said the girl was strapped into a chair and beaten and sexually assaulted repeatedly, and neighbors are shocked.
It shocked the head out of me to know that happened to such a family. I don't know much about the father, but the mother, she kept her children as a mother should.
The mother and father, both 27, are charged with murder. 5 other children are in protective custody. And in Boston, 4 soldiers with the Massachusetts National Guard claim the Guard has refused to reimburse the troops for more than $73 million they spent on their own food and lodging and commuting. The lawsuit says some of the soldiers traveled more than 100 miles a day to perform duties, and sometimes they paid $6 a night to sleep in the barracks. George and Erica?
Okay, Ralph, thank you. Ralph Howard there. Ralph is back in about 20 minutes with more headlines. And now we have Erica Phillips.
And you're listening to Howard 100 News. Sirius Satellite Radio's Richie Balinson is being called the installer to the stars on the Howard Stern Show. It's a name conceived by producer Gary Dell'Abate. Balinson says that he loves his job helping important people get their radios, but he's not exactly the installer. He hires people to do the actual work, although he is the mastermind behind putting receivers into the homes and cars of the rich and famous.
I've gone to Martha Stewart's house. I've been there a couple times. I've been to Eminem's house. I stayed there for 2 days. I actually flew out to Detroit for 2 days and stayed overnight and took care of his cars and his houses. Don Buchwald, everyone in Howard's family. From his parents to his sister out in Long Island, and everyone happens to be great people.
Well, his list of celebrities is actually longer than that. He's also helped out Bruce Springsteen, who has a channel devoted to his music here at Sirius. That's Channel 10. It's called E Street Radio. He talks about the day he and his crew went to oldies DJ Cousin Brucey's house, and Brucey and his wife made a whole afternoon barbecue out of it. And Richie says they're fabulous people. Coming up on the Howard 100 News at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to take a look at whether Richie's celebrity access gets him more dates.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. Now, another brush with Stern with the famous and the not-so-famous. Tell Howard 100 News about the first time they met Howard Stern and what the king of all media means to them. Today, Sal the stockbroker. He began as a regular caller to the show, branding Gary a horse-toothed jackass. And now, he's a full-fledged horse-toothed jackass staffer. So there. He's his first encounter here with the king of all media. We hear from him from his own mouth.
Howard 100. Brush with Stern.
I'll never forget that day. It was August of 1996 when I first pranked Gary Dell'Abate. And Howard loved the prank calls, and he invited me down. He wanted to meet me in person. And I walked into the studio. That was back on Madison Avenue. It was a small studio where a lot of great bits happened. And I got to sit down in that chair, and it was a chair, and it was a room that I fantasized about being in for so many years, and it was finally happening. It was unfolding before my eyes. And Howard was so polite, and he loved every single prank. And back then, he was much more of a prick than he is today. I mean, I think since he got divorced, he kind of like mellowed out a little bit for the better. Take it easy, Howard. So we were sitting there, and he enjoyed every bit, and he called me back then the Sal King of All Gary pranks. And something funny happened during the commercial break. I'll never forget it. I was making fun of Gary. Gary was Howard's real big whipping boy back in the day. And we went to commercial break, and I recall Howard was talking to Fred, and Gary came in to ask Howard a question. When Gary asked Howard a question, Howard turned his head towards Fred. He completely ignored Gary. And I found that hilarious. So I just immediately pointed to Gary like a 6-year-old. I'm like, ah! And the funny thing was that Howard turned to me, and he's like, no, it's okay. Like, something like, we're off the air. There's no need to be an asshole right now. And I was like, wow, I saw the other side of Howard, a side that people are seeing more and more every day. And I got the first glimpse of, the real kind, sweet man that people know off the air. And that always stuck in my head. And, we got back on the air, and sure enough, Gary sat in his seat, and he took his lumps, and everybody else took their lumps, and the whole thing was spectacular, as George Takei would say. And it was great. It was just a great moment. And that was it.
Howard 100 News. Feedback.
The Howard Stern Show rules.
Howard, hey, I just want to let you know that I think your show is better than ever. George Takei is a terrific addition. His voice is just phenomenal.
I just wanted to say, Artie and George Takei together is a great addition to the show. You got to keep them on, not just this week. You got to keep them on forever.
I have not changed the station except for between Howard 100 and Howard 101.
Tell Fred to play Up on Cripple Creek by the band.
And I'm getting ready to listen to Bubba the Love Sponge here in about an hour. I think you two combined is probably the greatest thing ever to hit radio.
Hey, Howard, Nancy from New Jersey. Been listening to you for the whole 20 years you've been on. Just got to tell you, the language has got to go.
I am so happy Howard is on Suits.
This is Jennifer from Mineola, New York. And Sal, you moron, the name of the show on ABC is Injustice, not Justice. So when you're typing it, watch what you're doing.
Hey, Howard, Jared from Ohio. Hey, man, love the show. Terrific. Hey, and these fucking losers who keep calling saying, hey, keep it clean, stop cussing. You know, I work at my job and trying to listen to it and you're being too dirty. What the fuck do you think you guys are buying?
If you'd like to leave a message for Howard 100 or the Howard 100 News Team, call 1-877-33-SIRIUS. That's 1-877-33-SIRIUS. And remember to leave your name and where you're from. This is Howard 100. More Americans listen to Howard 100 News than any other Howard news source in the nation.
It's a female masturbation machine which we can set up in the studio. Thank you, Tim. That's beautiful.
The big guy turns 52 and his staff celebrates with an on-air party. Lisa G will tell you the story.
He found him. He was passed out on the floor, and I guess he went and got help. I don't know if he called 911, but I know he went and got help.
The man who has managed Whackpacker Beetlejuice for many years, 36-year-old Sean Rooney, remains in serious condition in a New Jersey medical facility after suffering an apparent stroke. We'll have an update.
A lot of guys would eat celery because it makes it sweeter. Never eat asparagus.
From our Better Filate Than Never department, beware, asparagus can be hazardous to the health of your sex life.
I used to love late night talk radio, and that was always my dream to get involved in radio. It's still my dream. One day I'll be allowed on the air and be in radio.
Who is Benji? Really? Does he know? Lisa G finds out. This is Howard 100 News at noon. I'm Erica Phillips.
And I'm George Flowers, our top story. A royal birthday today. The monarch's minions brought tribute fit for a king. There were cards galore, the cake was a work of art, and the biggest gift would have satisfied any woman. Still, Howard was impressed. Howard 100 News reporter Lisa G was there.
So how does the king of all media celebrate his 52nd birthday? This year, from the look of things backstage, it was business as usual. No strippers, no balloons, just business as usual. Ronnie, the limo driver, I guess you were the first person to wish Howard a happy birthday today.
Yes, I was. Well, maybe Beth was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wasn't sleeping in between them this morning, I don't think. But no, I was the first one to see him.
And what'd he say?
Thank you very much.
Does it feel like it's his birthday?
No, he doesn't like birthdays anymore. Once you hit that certain age, you don't like birthdays anymore.
I did see an intern holding a birthday card.
Ben, you've got a big birthday card, something you'd give like a office worker, right? It's kind of goofy.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy. It's from the whole fucking bunch. Yeah.
Is this from all the interns?
From everybody, from Gary, from the interns, from staff. You know, Jason, Will, all those guys, Scott.
Scott, the engineer, didn't know anything about a big surprise.
We've been working so hard just like the last month and a half, finishing up one thing and trying to get this thing going that it's just been almost impossible to get any kind of birthday show. As far as I know, no one's told me about any birthday show, and I don't think there is one.
All right, let's ask Jason. Jason, any big birthday surprises?
No. Well, if there was a surprise, I certainly wouldn't tell you about it. Right. So the answer is no. No big surprises, small surprises, medium-level surprises. No surprises today for Howard.
Well, there was a bit of a surprise. Howard 100 Program Director Tim Sabian bought a big chocolate birthday cake.
We've got a birthday cake with Howard. For Howard's birthday, it's probably about 20 pounds or so of chocolate, and it's with a fist on it, and it looks pretty cool.
Was it expensive?
Absolutely. I don't know what exactly it was, but it was expensive.
Happy birthday to you. There is a beautiful chocolate cake with the fist, the Howard 100 and 101 logo.
The staff also managed to sneak in a big gift box with a sex toy inside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the female masturbation machine.
It's a female masturbation machine, which we can set up in the studio. Thank you, Tim. That's beautiful. It's a saddle with a big giant dong hanging out.
Howard 100 Programming Assistant Kara Dove bought the sex toy for the king of all media. She said it wasn't easy.
It was hard because it was so heavy. That thing weighed like 100 pounds.
Were you embarrassed?
Well, it was in a box, so nobody could really see it. So I felt safe doing it in the hallway right here.
Did you have to buy it?
I did. I bought it online. And I was afraid I was going to get fired because I had this porn on my computer.
Did you even know where to go online to buy it?
Yeah, someone had given me a website.
And how much did it cost?
Oh my God, it was expensive. I don't know if I can say. It's a pretty penny.
So Howard's another day older, and we're another day wiser. For Howard 100 News, I'm Lisa G.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. Howard 100 News brought you the story last night about Sean Rooney and his apparent stroke. You know Sean as the manager of Whackpacker Beetlejuice. Howard 100 News reporter Steve Langford is live here in the studio with more on his condition. Steve.
36-year-old Sean Rooney, Beetlejuice's manager in a New Jersey hospital, reported to be suffering from a stroke. Beetlejuice, a Stern Show favorite, reported to have discovered his manager Sean passed out on the floor over the weekend. Rooney's condition now apparently not good, according to a woman who identified herself as a sister of Sean's wife, who answered the phone at the New Jersey hospital where Rooney is. According to Reverend Bob Levy, who spoke to a friend of Rooney's, Beetlejuice's manager cannot undergo surgery because his heart is reportedly too weak. What's more, there is said to be some swelling of the brain. Sean Rooney reported to be on anti-clotting medicine and blood thinners. How is Beetlejuice taking this? Comedian Reverend Bob Levy telling Howard 100 News that Beetlejuice has been spotted at the New Jersey hospital where his manager is.
Somebody on Stern Fan Network said that their friend was at the hospital and they seen Beetlejuice there, and they asked him what he was doing there, and he said he was there. Sean's in the hospital. He's kind of like wandering around, like a little confused and that shit.
Sad stuff. How does a 36-year-old man suffer an apparent stroke? Friends have told us that Rooney is known to be high-strung, even volatile. We will have much more on Sean Rooney's condition at 6 p.m. Eastern here on Howard 100 News, including word of a benefit concert being organized to support Sean Rooney, scheduled for Friday, February 10th in Philadelphia.
And Steve, we should point out he's at the Deborah Center, is that correct? Medical Center, which is a coronary care facility.
That's a heart specialty facility in New Jersey.
Yes, that's our understanding.
Massive damage apparently to his heart. So hopefully he'll get through this.
We will have more details on this at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Howard 100, Steve Langford. Thank you, Steve. Howard.
Why would a DJ here at Sirius Satellite Radio expose herself to Howard Stern? We'll have the revealing story next on Howard 100 News at noon. You're listening to Howard 100.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. Howard Stern has always had a certain way with the ladies, and now he proves he has a certain way, too, with the ladies here at Sirius Satellite Radio. One in particular, one of the DJs, Madison is her name. She hosts a show here on Sirius, and for some reason, she felt compelled to bare her breasts for the king of all media. Howard 100 News reporter Shuley talked to the uninhibited jock to find out why.
In my first piece, we met with Madison, spoke to her behind the scenes as she was preparing to reveal herself to the Howard Stern Show. This is a moment in history, because Madison doing this is the first topless woman in the Howard Stern studios here in 2006 at Sirius Satellite Radio. Madison went on, she enjoyed herself, and I got to talk to her afterwards.
A little humiliated. I feel okay. They're just breasts.
That's right. Everybody's got a pair.
Everybody's got a pair.
Then I asked Madison if it was okay if we stopped by her boss's office, just to see what he thought.
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think he should see me for a while.
See, I think it's a good idea. You think it's not a good idea. I think the only way to find out is just try it. And if it's not going well, we'll do like a fire drill thing. We'll just run out. I spoke to Rich Pappy McLaughlin. He's a programmer for Alt Nation. As a boss, what did you think of your employee's performance today?
Well, I would like to talk to my employee about her performance before I discuss it, on Howard 100 News.
We're all one family here. You can, whatever you have to say, just say it.
Well, I've already said Madison is a fine DJ on Alt Nation, and
she is great.
And once we discuss it together, then I'll come back to you guys, and I'd be happy to talk about it with you. But I don't think it'd be fair to Madison to discuss it with you guys first.
She doesn't care.
Well, I do. So.
And finally, to sum everything up, I just wanted to hear how Madison feels after all this. Madison, how do you feel?
I feel like I've been raped. Well, I wish I had been funnier, but I'm glad my little song made him laugh. I'm glad he knows who I am now. I did the best I could. And I'm really glad that one guy called up and said I'm great and have sass, because that might have sold it.
Reporting for Howard 100 News, this is Shuley saying, Shalom, everybody.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. It takes a village of big, burly men to protect a king and his court. Howard 100 News reporter Mike Piazza is back with more on the special security that's in place for the Howard Stern Show and to protect the staff here at Sirius Satellite Radio.
Guess who's coming to dinner? And it's not Sidney Poitier. It's that lovable, zany, totally unpredictable group of loonies, Howard Stern's Whack Pack. Double A, High Pitch Eric, Jeff the Drunk. They've all taken it upon themselves to invade the corporate headquarters of Sirius Satellite Radio. Just how much of a problem is this invasion for Sirius and its employees? Could there be any security issues? As the main receptionist, Nicole Sanpeter is the primary point of contact for those entering the world of Sirius. Nicole says she's already been hit on by the infamous, self-proclaimed stud of the whack pack, Double A. But there is much more to her story.
They don't understand that I have to answer the phone and that I have a job here, so they'll kind of just like come up and kind of, lean over and be chatting away, and I really have nothing to say to them. I just want them to come in, do their business, and leave me out of it.
The 2 or 3 guards that stand in front of Howard's entrance every day, have they had any conversation with you, and have they offered you any help?
No, they're very sweet, though, and I know that I can ask them if I need something. They kind of just keep to themselves like everybody else.
Nicole had a very interesting conversation with Howard's limo driver, Ronnie Mund.
And when I was talking to Ronnie, actually the limo driver earlier, he said, I said, it's getting crazy here, and he said, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. So I'm expecting it to get way, way crazier soon.
Have there been any other comments from any other Sirius employees about the people hanging out in the lobby?
Yeah, I'll have people come out sometimes and kind of look at me and kind of motion with their eyes or with their hand, like, what is that person doing here? What are they still, sitting here? And I kind of say, I don't know what to do. And they say, tell them to leave. And I can't. I can't tell them to get out. They're here for the show.
Do you know of any other instances where the whackpackers have disturbed Sirius employees?
I've had one of the guards come up sometimes, and we've heard from random anonymous people throughout the company that, they found so-and-so wandering the halls, and it's just not what they want, They have to come in when they're supposed to be here, go on the show, and then leave. Howard
100 News quickly passed along this breach of security to Tom Gorgola, who heads up Sirius's security effort.
You don't know what may happen. From past experience and what I've heard from people that work with Howard, there are times that some things have happened that he's not been comfortable with, and he actually does want security around while he's on the show or what he's doing on the show. So for in terms of what Sirius has to provide for him, we will try to provide that same service, and if that's what makes him comfortable, then that's what we'll do.
So I put it to the 2-man security team stationed squarely in front of Howard's cordoned-off studio. Will you protect Ms. Sanpeter, or any Sirius employee for that matter, if Howard's whackpackers start acting up?
Another report that we have from some of the Sirius people is that there have been whackpackers walking around roaming. Has anybody seen it?
No, not at all. Not since he started. Absolutely not. And if we need to provide some sort of service for her, that's why we're here.
After repeated questioning, Ms. Sanpeter told Howard 100 News what she really feels about Stern's whackpackers.
Have you felt endangered physically at any time?
No, they're all harmless. They're just annoying.
For Howard 100 News, I'm Mike Piazza.
And you're listening to Howard 100 News. Time now for News Break with Howard 100 News anchor Ralph Howard, going to tell us what's happening in the world beyond Howard Stern. Ralph?
All right, George and Erica, Oprah stands by her man, James Fry, after big questions about his huge-selling book, A Million Little Pieces. A Smoking Gun website has been claiming a lot of the stuff in the book was made up. When Fry was being grilled by Larry King on CNN, Oprah called in, saying she doesn't understand the controversy and again endorsed what the book says.
To all those people out there who have received hope from reading this book, keep holding on.
Oprah says hundreds of thousands of lives have been changed by A Million Little Pieces. Fry says memoirs are subjective, adding that there were some embellishments. Champion skier Bodie Miller apologizes for saying in 60 Minutes that he drinks before skiing, or slosh shushing. Miller said he was sorry after getting a visit from Bill Murrolt, the head of the U.S. Ski and Snowboarding Association. Martha Stewart is launching a new magazine called Blueprint, Design Your Life, with 2 issues planned, the first in May at a cost of $3. Martha Stewart Living company says a zine will teach and inspire women on how to dress, entertain, decorate, and organize their lives. And Fred Savage stars in Crumbs, a new sitcom debuting on ABC tonight. Fred plays a guy whose Hollywood career is a bust. He comes home to his family, which runs a restaurant. The father leaves the mom. The mom is in a mental institution. Fred Savage calls the show unique and extraordinary. And is Crumbs a good name for a new TV show? George and Erica?
Slosh what?
Shushing.
Slosh shushing.
And I've rehearsed that several times. Slosh shushing.
Thank you, Ralph Howard. And Ralph and I'll be back at 6 with the news at that time, too.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. Who is the real Benji Bronk? Our Lisa G tries to find out next on Howard 100 News.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. He's been known to tell a tall tale or two on occasion on the Howard Stern Show. Now, Stern Show writer Benji Bronk sits down with Howard 100 News reporter Lisa G and promises to get real. We'll see.
A Howard 100 News profile.
Interviewing 34-year-old Benji is a task in itself. Part of me felt like I was being punked. The other part was trying to rein him in when he was telling a story. This is how it started.
So what is your full name?
Benji Benjamin Bronk.
How do you spell that?
Really? B-R-O-S-K.
B-R-O-S-K, so it's Brosk?
Bronk.
Oh, I thought you said S.
I did, because I feel weird about ever saying something like that. Because
So it's B-R-O-N-K?
Yeah. But I felt weird about giving that information. I mean, you're going to think I'm fucking around, but never mind. Yeah, that's how you spell it.
Okay, so with this in mind, here's the rest of the story. Benji grew up in the college town of Clemson, South Carolina. His father was a biophysics professor, and his mom an interior designer. Even at a young age, this small-town boy had big radio dreams.
I always loved talk radio since I was a little kid. Like, in South Carolina, I used to listen to, like, KDK late at night, something Loop in Chicago, and I think KMOX from St. Louis. I used to love late night talk radio, and that was always my dream to get involved in radio. It's still my dream. One day I'll be allowed on the air and be in radio.
Benji told me he graduated from Penn State with a major in political science.
After college, I was breaking up with a girlfriend, and I felt real devastated about it. So I stayed in that town, and I worked as a DJ, actually, in this little college town for like a year. Somehow I got involved in radio sales, and then I moved to New York, lived with some friends in New York. I was taking classes at improv, and I was a psychic. I worked on the psychic hotline. I would dial in a number to log on, and then I was on, and you got paid. It was actually a really good rate for a job like that. It was like $18 an hour, but $18 an hour of solid hour of talking. So they tracked every minute that you had someone on. So I used to do that for like two nights a week, but I would just stay logged in the whole time, and I would make enough to support myself. Then I guess I didn't do too well for a while because I ran out of money completely. And I moved to LA, and I worked I lived in South Central, and I worked at the Hillel. It's a Jewish student organization for USC.
After L.A., Benji moved back to New York, where he ran out of money again.
I was living in an office in New York. Like in an office, literally, it was about a third of the size of this room on 22nd Street. Because I found an office in New York, like it was like $280. It was an office within an office complex. It was a really scary building, because at night no one was there. There was no shower or anything. I used to go to Johnny Lat's gym because they had an unlimited gym membership for $25 a month. So I would shower there, but I would live in the office. I didn't have a phone. I would use the fax to make phone calls until the guy from the office found that out.
So how did Benji end up on the Howard Stern Show? He sent his resume 8 years ago to Howard's office manager.
My friend John Deitch helped me make up a resume. I think she liked the fact that I took improv courses and the whole psychic readers thing, and I got the internship.
So how did Howard discover your talent?
Like I said, I was constantly pitching ideas, pitching concepts, and as much as Howard seems to hate me on the air, off air, he seems to use my stuff a lot and like my opinion a lot. My title on the show is writer. I'm a writer on the show. And it doesn't mean like, obviously 95% of what's on the show is right from Howard's head. But during the show, I write conversational type jokes. And if Howard likes them, he incorporates them or might change them a little bit or not use it at all.
So how does he see your jokes?
We have something that developed when Jackie was here called the joke cam. So I write underneath camera. The camera picks it up, and then he sees it on a screen. If he likes it, he uses it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's almost like a game. Mentally, I'm very dissatisfied with a lot of things about my role on the show, but mentally, it's tremendously a lot of fun because I'm just always looking for an opening for where it could work. Just looking for an opening, looking for an opening, looking for an opening. I think of it like a video game. Like when Howard uses it, it's like, bing, I get another point, get another point, get another point.
What does your family think about this?
They're real proud of me, like, about being on the show. They definitely don't always like the show content. They think sometimes, they're very proud of me. I have a very, loving, supportive family. But, they have mixed feelings about the show itself. I mean, sometimes they find it real funny, sometimes they find it really offensive.
Probably there's a lot of pressure to do well in your family.
No. I mean, the pressure is to do something, to take care of yourself, to be proud of what you do. But I've never had a real pressure, to do a certain job or not do a certain job. Although my mom still wants me to go to law school or be a doctor, so maybe.
Well, just one last question. What do you hope to see happen here at Sirius, your future?
I'd love if I had an opportunity to do some sort of little show, like at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. It's just really fun. Like I said, it's a very fun environment. It's really interesting to see how we're going to evolve. it's like a whole new neighborhood. Like I've said, it's like, you know, we've moved out of the ghetto, out of the projects into this like real fancy neighborhood, and we're really like excited about trying out like all the new things.
Benji did a 2-hour radio show at K-Rock after Howard Stern left. He said he had a lot of fun doing it, and if he had the chance to do it every day, he claims he'd be a great DJ. For Howard 100 News, I'm Lisa G.
And Howard 100's Lisa G joins us now live in the studio with a sneak peek of a very exclusive and special interview she's been working on for Howard 100 News at 6. Lisa.
That's right. I interviewed the person who is responsible for putting Howard Stern and Robin Quivers together. I mean, we all know them as a team, but they didn't know each other 20 years ago. This person's name is Denise Oliver.
They were both very personable, and they were both strong enough to be able to stand up to each other. I sensed that about Robin as well as about Howard at the lunch that we had where I introduced them. They hit it off immediately.
And there you go. That's just a taste of what's in store. She hasn't told her story to anyone before. So this is an exclusive, a worldwide exclusive, and she spoke to me, and we'll have it on the 6 o'clock news Eastern Time on Howard 100 News.
We're looking forward to it. Howard 100's Lisa G. And after this break, do certain foods affect the taste of semen? I wouldn't know. That report coming up next.
You're listening to Howard 100 News. The new Scare Your Pants Off movie, Hostel, is off to a great start, terrifying audiences and frightening away other films. And there's a Howard Stern connection, of course, to this movie. Writer and director Eli Roth told Howard 100 News that people are tired of boring family movies, that he wanted to make a movie as violent, sick, and gory as possible.
I like to look at the story and figure out how much violence and sex should fit into the story, and I had to get an R rating. I wasn't allowed to do it NC-17, but I shot all this gore and all this sex, and miraculously it slipped by the ratings board. I don't really know how that happened. I just got really lucky.
Some critics have said it's too violent. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that there's any violence in my movie. I think it's all magic tricks. I think it's all pretend, and I think the people know that. Nobody actually dies. You know, if you're looking at, if you want to complain about violence, complain to the U.S. government about what's going on in Iraq, because people are actually really dying there. That's real violence. Movie violence is not real violence. I think it's hilarious when people get upset and get offended, and he's doing a comedy show, and he's being funny, and he's being entertaining, but it's really scary when people say, you know, he can't say this or he can't say that, and he starts getting censored. And I think that a lot of the things that he says are very, very truthful things that people don't want to admit and don't want to show and don't want to talk about.
Eli Roth is a longtime Howard Stern listener. He's a big fan and calls Howard a hero. They met during the filming of Private Parts.
I went to film school in New York City, and I worked for a long time in film production in New York. So one of the jobs I had was working on the Private Parts movie. And it was one of the greatest jobs I ever had because my job was to sit outside Howard's door at night at the studio, and basically I would sit there in case he needed anything while he was sleeping. And I sat and I wrote and I worked on my first film, Cabin Fever. That's where I really wrote that script.
Was Howard nice to you in those days?
Howard was honestly the nicest person I ever worked for in a movie.
Eli Roth says Howard was always polite, saying please and thank you and asking about his writing. And unlike some other stars, Eli has worked with over the years.
This is Howard 100 News, and look now at what's coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern on Howard 100 News. Here, Ralph Howard.
All right, George and Erica, coming up today in Howard 100 News at 6. Everybody's guessing about those crazy revelations. We will not find out who belongs to which confession till next week, but the Stern Show is now offering $10,000 to the person who can correctly guess all the revelations. One of the contenders is Stern superfan and CBS executive Vinny Favale. He runs down his predictions for us later on and how he came to those conclusions. Penny Crone has a sit-down interview with Stern sidekick Artie Lang. Artie reveals his personal side in this in-depth profile. Plus, it's Thursday. John Hine joins us in the studio to talk about tonight's Stern Superfan Roundtable. And Mr. Skin has his unique weekly roundup of what's new in movie theaters and on DVD. So join us tonight for Howard 100 News at 6 o'clock Eastern Time.
Thank you, Ralph Howard, my co-anchor.
Also coming up tonight, we're going to give you an update on Beetlejuice's manager, Sean Rooney, who remains hospitalized after suffering an apparent stroke. We're going to check on his condition and talk to some folks involved.
Yes, we certainly will, Erica. This has been Howard 100 News at noon Eastern. I'm George Flowers.
And I'm Erica Phillips. George and Ralph Howard will be back at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with the evening edition of Howard 100 News, right here on Howard 100.
This has been a production of Howard 100 News.